What is up, everybody? Matt Ogle with VYPE Media. I'm here with none other than Jess White, not my coach, but girls soccer coach from my old alumni, my old school. Kingwood Park, y'all are having a tremendous season, 18-3, 10-0, which marks your eighth consecutive undefeated district title, which is ridiculous in and of itself. So tell me, coach, what's the mindset heading into the playoffs? You're getting ready to play White House, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, what we try to do is take nobody for granted. One of the things about being in Region Two is that there's a lot of schools that we haven't seen before. We don't get as much exposure to them, but what we have to understand, and it's the same thing when we have been and are back in Region Three, that everybody's made it the playoffs for a reason. We expect White House to be battle tested. It's a tough district, a lot of close matches up there. And we expect them to be aggressive, and so we don't want to take anybody for granted because anything can happen on a given day.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's Region Two. It's a little bit of a crazy atmosphere there. I mean, we're more familiar with Region Three, at least in my opinion or my experience, especially in 6A. But yeah, it's after bowing out last year in the round two. How do you think this team has prepared both mentally and physically to perhaps advance even further? Because this is a team that is battle tested, and y'all have the experience of going to the state finals or state semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. So, what is the team? How have y'all prepared for that?
Well, I think one of the things that I'm blessed with. This is our largest senior class, but it's one of the things that we always preach is versatility, and we have a lot of girls, both seniors and some of the younger ones, that are able to do a lot of things, play a lot of different positions, and that allows me to kind of move people around on the pitch without having to give up too much on a given night. We could try different combinations. If something's not working, somebody else could fulfill those roles, and a lot of girls have stepped up throughout the season. You can. Nobody's going to play perfect. Nobody's going to be on all the time, but they're a very, very selfless group. Lacking egos, which is fantastic, and they fight hard for each other.
Yeah, you do have a tremendous roster, I got to say. You got Bryn Baldwin, one of your captains, Aaron McLean, and another one of your captains, Bailey Farvaju. How do you pronounce her last name?
Fovard.
Fovard. And but they provide the experience that you have for a younger team, because I know you have a lot of young key pieces, such as like my good friend Jesus Ortiz's daughter Sydney. You got one of my old coaches, David Feliciano's daughter Journey, and same thing with. I mean, that's the cool thing about doing this in this point, because I'm so familiar with all these people. Matt Smithson's daughter Peyton. You got all these younger girls. How do you think that mix has benefited this group, and how do you think the leadership from the more experienced veterans has transferred over to the younger group?
I think the selflessness and the composure of the older group has really allowed these young ladies to be embraced and to develop without pressure. And so they've all been involved in important moments. Sydney takes free kicks. She has a fantastic leg. She's a very composed defender. Journey has top class speed, and I've been moving her around in a couple different areas, and she's becoming comfortable in a couple different areas. Peyton is a stellar goalkeeper. It's hard to remember sometimes she is a freshman, and we have a couple some other young ladies who are they deserve to be on varsity, but another big reason they're on varsity is so they can be nurtured by these girls that are graduating. That's going to be a big aspect that we miss when they do graduate.
I'm sure. Yeah, you gotta. That's probably one of the disappointing things as a coach is like you lose weapons year in and year out. Like last year, it was Emma Yeager who broke the record for career goals. But given that fact, who do you? I mean, it could be one of the girls I mentioned already, but who do you think has stepped up the most in your opinion, has made like the most strides talent wise, that has progressed throughout the year?
I think that we don't really have anybody that's hitting 20, 30 goals, we have a lot of girls who are providing, 5 and 6 assists or goals here and there. And I think that variety is what helps the most. Emma Green is a center back. She's gone full-time soccer this year and has been stellar. And that's kind of helped somebody like Sydney, be able to learn at her own pace, or not necessarily learn, but become accustomed to the varsity speed and physicality at her own pace. Flavia Salima Marcano has really blossomed as an attacking mid / center forward. Very, very technical player. Morgan Sagendorf does a great job coming from the right. Coming in from the left, but can play a variety of positions. In fact, she played center back a few weeks ago and looked really good. And Chrislyn Moyles has a work ethic that most people can't match. I probably have to say that Bailey Fovarg's work ethic and her development over the last 8 to 9 months has stood out the most. She just is an unbelievable workhorse. Is a fantastic defender. Her engine that doesn't stop, and I mean, she just, even yesterday, I was just kind of watching. She looked fantastic in practice. Her shots were on, and she plays defensive mid for the most of the time. But she's developed so much that I've got to find ways to keep her on the field, and she's going to be a fantastic leader for us next year as she is this year as well.
I mean, yeah, you got to have those intangibles to be a midfielder. I mean, that's where I think whenever I was on the soccer team, the now Cinco Ranch coach Searle, he always stressed that the midfield was the engine of the group, and so I think that's very important to have, and clearly it's worked out for y'all. And anyways, we're wishing you the best of luck with White House next week. And we're hoping to see, I mean, definitely on my side, being a K Park alum, I'm wanting to see a lot of success in the postseason. So good luck, Coach. We're rooting for y'all.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you.